Elect was his name, and he had 48 pieces that he was able to put together for us to tell us a story about Elect. He also has another 100 pieces about after Elect. So he's got a great collection. So I was able to have Dr. Martin Luther King's Day of Service was here, and I had some students and a professor from Stockton University come over, and he worked on the exhibit. They did such a great job. I noticed about three of the interns that said, "You guys would like to intern and work on this project," and they said yes. And I spoke to the professor, the dean, Ian Marshall over at Stockton University, and Ian called me back and says he's going to assign these students. He's going to give them 50 hours. What do you give you?
Oh, yeah, but it's okay.
Okay. They still have 49 to go.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
they both have to go back to class right now. So I want you to introduce yourself and tell them who you are and what project you're with.
My name is Adriana Schofield. I'm a sophomore at Stockton University. I'm an Africana Studies major. I'm a non-traditional student, so I'm 25. I went back to school because I was unsure of my path. I just had to find, I guess, more of what mattered to me, and I think that joining the Africana Studies program and also being committed to doing things in the community,
Thank you.
it means a lot. And this exhibit particularly showed me how important history is, and just how important, especially now, with a lot of our history attempted to being erased, just because of how easily this was scrubbed from the internet, and so there's no way you can find it unless you're here. It's our job now to have that passed down, and we pass it down to the next generation. So I appreciate you all coming down today.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Meyer Henry. I'm also an Africana Studies major, and I'm a senior at Stockton University, graduating today.
Hey!
Thank you. This exhibit, I actually enjoyed helping with it. This is my first time ever working in a museum or having any kind of experience in one. I grew up in Wildwood. Y'all know it's in Cape May County, so it's not that many Black people there. So coming here and being to work on a project, especially with Atlantic City Electric, I was kind of shocked, helping set up the exhibit and curate it. I did not expect for there to be so many ads about this, or just seeing how they use elect. I was very shocked, but it was very nice to do a lot of research on it and just learn the history, because I think so many people today, they get lost in the idea of they don't like history at all to learn it, that we forget that in order to not repeat the same thing, you kind of have to learn that history that happened so you don't repeat it. So that was just my experience. Thank you.
I don't know, what is an 84-year-old white man doing a talk on Black history at the Black History Museum in Atlantic City? 2 months ago, I didn't know any of this about, and I thought about it for a while. So how did I get here? All right, and I'll sort through a little bit of that story, and that is, I'm an antique person, love antiques, and recently acquired a lot of vintage Atlantic City newspapers, most of them from around 1920 to about 1950. All right, and give me that one, the big one. And my original intent was, I'm a Turner Classic Movie fan, that I would try to follow the ads that were put into movies. And after a while, it got pretty boring. And the reason it got boring is I decided the ads were no different than the ads in the Philadelphia paper, same movies. All right. And then I came across one ad that really struck a chord. And that one ad started it all is this one. Very simple ad, if you really look at it. But it's striking. It's pure advertising. This is the first ad the the electric company ran. It's about 1925 or 1927. And it tells you so much, but shows you so little, really. So I didn't know if this would be of any interest to Ralph or not. I knew Ralph from talks he had given at other institutions. And so I decided I'll give Ralph a call. And I told him briefly what I had. And Ralph's response was, wow, I'll be over in 30 minutes. And, you know, and basically what Ralph pointed out is this is a piece of Black history of Atlantic City that no one knew really existed. That was the picture that Ralph gave me. And I said, is that of any interest to you? And Ralph gave me a lot of superlatives. All right, and so at that time I had about a half a dozen different ads, and I went to work trying to find out just how many ads there were. And most of the ads were from 1927 to 1952. And I'll make the transition. In 1952, the electric company stopped running the ads with the black figure in it. And this was what replaced them. This is called Ready Kilowatt. Very well known. ELEC, no one ever heard of it. Go look on eBay. Go look on all your sources. There are no references to this. But this ad replaced the black ads. The period I'm talking about is about 25 years. The electric company ran these ads, and there's about 30 or 40 ads here. There's one ad that I think you have that is probably my favorite ad. First of all, every ad has a separate story. Every ad is open to interpretation. There's the act, you know, the racial overtones are there. It's a black minstrel face. And there's one picture here showing a minstrel, two minstrels faces with the ELEC. But once you get past that, all the faces are different. Every face here is really different. It's not all the same at all. And so look at the ones that interest you most. But the one that Ralph and I like the best is this one. This is an ad, and there were several ads here that were patriotic ads. And that probably is the most patriotic ad here. But there are 4 or 5 other ads whose theme is strictly patriotic. Now, all the ads show ELEC, but all the ads have different faces. And they give you different messages. And a lot of the ads are really open to interpretation. That one's not open to interpretation. When you see it, you'll see why I say that. But a lot of them really are. So Ralph said I got to have them for Black History Month, right, Ralph?
Yes.
And I said, that's fine. I'll try to frame them all and get them in a form so you can put it. And these 2 young ladies did all the work putting them up. And I can go on, but I'd like to open it up for questions because there are a lot of different things that may be going through your mind. Yes, sir. No, I'm sorry. No questions? Go ahead.
I was just going to ask what inspired you to continue to collect these?
Oh, this ad is so classic as an ad and so enlightening that this ad made me feel this is worth following up. And as I slowly went through more and more papers, I found more and more ads. And that's how all these ads, you know, came together. But it was this ad that really started it all. And I just think it's pure advertising, you know, but yet so many different themes, even in this simple ad. And if you look at the one that's going around, you might also note that there's no face on the ad that I turned around that has ELEC hanging Mussolini, Hitler, and a Japanese general. The artist didn't know how to draw a face to that. It's very obvious because he could have drawn so many different faces and made the decision not to draw a face on that particular one. Yeah.
Yeah, if you depicted it, you might not have a face, but the clothing.
Oh, it's no, if you look at the hat,
And it's
he's got
the
the hat with
characters
the
in
name on it.
Germany, Italy,
There's
and
no
Japan.
doubt who it is.
Yeah, it tells you exactly
All
what
right.
to say.
But still, you know, he wouldn't know what face to put on this particular ad. That's what I think. Only one ad is actually signed. It's hard to read, I couldn't read it. But I'd love to find out who was the artist, because each one of these was individually drawn. All right, they weren't just stamped out or anything like that. And there's two in there that features just the figures. In other words, I took the figures out of the ads and made a separate display of just figures. So if you look at that, you'll see all the different faces that are there. Yes, sir?
Physically, where did you find them? Were they all together?
They were a local museum was disposing of a lot of old newspapers, and I purchased the newspapers from the museum, thinking that it might be fun to see what the movie ads look like if you're a Turner Classic Movie fan. And they are. They're just not unique. That's the problem with it. They ran the same ads in the Philadelphia papers. Nothing unique. And actually, I left one step out. So my first thing was Turner Classic Movie. The second thing was real estate at the shore. I really got interested in documenting the real estate, sale of real estate at the shore from 1920 to 1950. And I have a display in the Margate Library, just Margate, how they sold real estate lots. And all the islands were selling lots in the 20s. There are no homes here. I mean, and Cape May is different, Atlantic City is different. But all these other communities, they're just selling building lots. And one of the lots in Pleasantville was so cheap that I think it said it was $1 down and $1 a week. Now, Pleasantville is not what you see today. Early part of Pleasantville history is huge manufacturing and heavy Jewish influence. All the shops that they had in Pleasantville, Jewish shops. They had a synagogue on the corner in Pleasantville. Nothing like you see today. All right, it was a center of commerce, really, at that time.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay? Thank you.
And then we're gonna get a comment from the judge. Bert, I want to personally thank you for being part of this, and thanking Atlantic City Electric for lending us a hand to make this exhibit come true. People will see it from all different walks of life, and we're delighted to be part of that. But Bert and I hit it off right away. I didn't know him from a can of string beans. but now we know one another, and we're contemporaries. So that's very, very important. So the company went from a stereotype. It moved along. So one day you have a CEO and the chief of staff all who look like me, which is amazing to me. Not only that, I brought Bert up, so the company put together kind of like a little resolution. Hit it, Bert. Go ahead.
Well, before we go there, Ralph, if you could just stand for a second. I know you just sat down. And, take a look at, turn around, Ralph, turn around. Take a look at Ralph. Now, Ralph is
West Philly.
he is very well known. He's got a lot of accolades, and he's been really the father of Black history in Atlantic City. And we have a lot of contributors to that, including the judge here as well, who's written about the African American experience. And Ralph, when Ralph came to me and showed me what he had by way of the collection, you know, it's something that you don't want to run away from. It's something that you want to face honestly, and it's part of the sheer African American experience. And I know that Atlantic City Electric was contributed to the stereotypes that you see on the wall. We were just like every other major company at the time, but we did come up with a statement, and Ralph wants me to read it. So, Jessica, I know that I did have this approved by Corp Coms, and let me just read what the statement here, that this is transforming the African American experience, and this exhibit includes advertising materials from Atlanta City Electric, created during the 1920s to the 1950s. Some of these images rely on racial caricatures and stereotypes of African Americans that were widely used in American advertisement at the time. While these materials are part of our shared history, they reflect attitudes and practices that cause harm and do not align with the values we hold today. We recognize that these portrayals will be painful to see. Acknowledging them openly is an important step in understanding how deeply such stereotypes were embedded in everyday life and how far we still must go to ensure equity and respect for all. Over time, Atlanta City Electric and the parent company, Exelon, have worked to learn from the past and move forward with intention, creating a workplace where people of all backgrounds can thrive and obtain position at the highest levels of the company. This exhibit is not presented to excuse or to erase history, but it is to face it honestly. We still hope it invites reflection, dialogue, and a renewed commitment to building a future shaped by dignity, inclusion, and mutual respect. So this is what I want you to take away from. We're facing our past and our history, and it's good to talk about it, and it's good to really see how far we've come. I happen to be, in this September, it's going to be 48 years that I've been an employee of Atlanta City. I lived some of that past here as a first Latino in many roles in the company, and I have seen how far we have come. I mean, it's just chilling and thrilling to see the leadership that we have that happen to be people of color who are shaping the future for our company. Thank you very much, and I hope everyone gets an opportunity to go see that.
Thank you all for being here. I was thrilled that Bert reached out to me to help coordinate this wonderful event, to be able to just share what we do on the ERG and just to keep supporting. So I am the VP of ER for this year, become the VP and join the interconnection, the collaboration with all the other ERGs that we have. But this is dear to my heart because it's the first role that I've played on a leadership role, to be able to give back to not only our community but our internal organization and to support African American people within the organization and just also spread the word. So I want to thank you all for having me, and I look forward to the exhibit and just keep on spreading the word for ER internally and externally for us. So thank you all.
Thank you. I'm going to call to the podium one of my dearest friends on Goddard, Judge Nelson Johnson. Judge Johnson wrote the book, Boardwalk Empire. Judge Johnson wrote a book, The North Side. Judge Nelson Johnson, my friend, come up to the podium and say what you got to say. Come on.
What I hope all of you have an appreciation for is the fact that African American history is American history. And why do I say that? Because African Americans have been indispensable in American history, not just Atlantic City's history, which my book, The North Side, I think makes a persuasive argument. But let me put this in your head and you think about it. You're in Boston, you're in Charleston, I'm in Philadelphia. Who am I? I'm Benjamin Franklin, okay? You're gonna have a Continental Congress. You can only have it in one place, wherever Benjamin Franklin is. Why do I say that? Because Benjamin Franklin was the world's first international celebrity. There was almost nobody that spoke English that didn't know who he was. There was almost no one who spoke French who didn't know who he was. He was getting up in years, and if you want to have a Continental Congress, they're gonna come to me in Philadelphia. Now, what makes African Americans indispensable in the American Revolution? This. Again, you're in Boston, you're in Charleston, South Carolina. How do you get to me? You get to me in an infrastructure that was built by forced free labor. There's no other way. Whether you're sailing in a boat, the dock and the boat was created by African Americans. If you're driving on a road in a horse and carriage, again, it's going to be in an infrastructure that was created by African Americans. I say to you, the American Revolution never happens without African Americans. There's more that I can go into deeper, but all I'm saying to you is the role of African Americans in our history is indispensable. And I'm so happy my friend has preserved the history of the African Americans in this community, because it's a real rich one that we can learn a lot from, and I hope that we all do. Thank you.
Dina's one of our docents at the museum here. She works here from Wednesday through Sunday, or Saturdays or whenever. But she's the person you'll see if you come to the African American Museum. She will be explaining the story about stereotypes. She'll be explaining the story about Aunt Mama, Little Black Sambo, and all the other things. You got 30 seconds now.
Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you, Mr. Hunter, for your presentation. My name is Dina. I've been working with Mr. Hunter for over 2 years, and I really appreciate Mr. Hunter. I'm going to say that at the end, because his dedication to African American history in our community. Mr. Hunter contributes so much to our community. But I just want to say that it has been a pleasure working with him, learning about African American history, stereotypes, and also the new exhibit about ELECT and what ELECT brought to the electric company. I did not know that these stereotypes of ELECT go back all the way to the 20s, up into the 50s, that they use this negative image. But I also learned moving forward that the electric company did, no one can make up for the past, all the disrespect that was done to African Americans. But moving ahead of the future, I do appreciate the fact that now we have African Americans running that company. I am so proud of the work that we have done and they have done, and it was just an honor and a pleasure to be a part of it. And I want to thank our founder, Mr. Ralph Hunter, who is the legend of Atlantic City in African American history. Thank you.
We have to